Hello and welcome back to Sonny Talk Spurs, and today I didn't think I'd be doing another video. I've already done one video on Antonio Nusa, so go and watch that one afterwards. But I have to react because I've just seen a video on Twitter of Heung-Min Son limping off injured with South Korea 4-0 up in their game on the international break. And you just didn't want it to happen. You just didn't want it to happen. Obviously, we don't know how bad this injury is. But the question then from this is Spurs' season practically over? Another key major injury to a top player, to a great player, to our goal scorer this season. Honestly, I am in utter disbelief at this. But before we get into it a bit further, if you are new to the channel, why don't you leave a like on the video, subscribe to Sonny Talk Spurs and hit that notification bell because it lets you know when I've gone live in instances such as this. But yeah, just watching back the video just then, and honestly, it grinds my gears actually at these international breaks. I think there's been so many this season so far. I think we're in our third. And even in the last international break, Son came off, I think, injured when I think he limped off injured at half-time in a game against Vietnam. I think South Korea were playing Vietnam. And then he came on the second half and I think he scored and got an assist. So, honestly, my mind does boggle. But Jurgen Klinsmann, the South Korea manager, literally doing us no favours. You know, former Spurs player. You'd think he'd wrap our player up in bubble wrap. You know, you think Daniel Lee would be on the phone to him going, Jurgen, could you please actually do us a favour? But honestly, I'm shocked. I'm shocked because obviously we don't know the extent of this injury so far, and I am speculating. But, you know, in a season so far where we're already threadbare, we've got the most threadbare squad. Luckily, we're being linked with a lot of wingers come striker types, so January can't come soon enough. But, yeah, Micky van der Ven to start. Obviously, he's out for a while until January. Then, obviously, we have the injury crisis to Maddison. Maddison and Son were just a perfect match, and now we might not have either. And then who plays in that position? You probably, I mean, Richarlison, I was going to say him, but he's out injured at the moment. So you've got, you know, maybe Valise has to stand up, Donnelly. But I'm just speculating at the moment. But as I say, these international breaks, I remember when it used to be Harry Kane, I used to worry about his, you know, his likeliness of getting injured with his ankles. But now it seems to be the case with all our other star assets. And Son, just, you know, obviously last season he was apparently playing through injury. This season he's been protected, apparently having different training regimes to a lot of the squad thus far. But it's just not ideal. You know, Ange Postecoglou is just not being served any luck at the moment. It must be that triple Manager of the Month award, which is coming back to bite him on the backside. You could just tell I am in utter shock and disbelief at this. The fact that, you know, there's been 3 international breaks in the space of a couple of months. And luckily there's not one now until about March, February time, which feels like that will swing round sooner rather than later. But even like the dead rubber, I mean, there's no Tottenham players in the England squad due to Maddison being injured. But luckily, that is the thing, luckily, because there's 2 dead rubber games, Malta and North Macedonia. If Maddison had then got injured in one of them, I don't know what we would have been doing. But it just makes you think of, we have now heading into this fixture schedule. We've got Aston Villa, Man City, West Ham, Newcastle, Forest, Everton. The December fixture schedule is going to be wild as well. So hopefully, fingers crossed, this Son injury is not as bad as, you know, the first imagery looks. Hopefully he won't play another game for South Korea this international break. But you never know, he could come out in the next couple of days and play another fixture. Jurgen Klinsmann has got that about him. So, yeah, I'm really praying that, because even our medical department, we've turned into Arsenal, I think, and some other clubs just stacking them up. Chelsea comes to mind as well. We just really, really are not getting the rub of the green after this. But yeah, honestly, it's just so petrifying. And I got the tweet sent from a friend. Everyone's reacting to it, saying the wheels off. I feel like Tottenham fans already are a little bit on edge at the moment of worry with the recent injuries, the suspensions, back-to-back losses in the Premier League to Chelsea and Wolves respectively. And, you know, players who are getting used to playing handball are falling by the wayside. And we really need the numbers. We need the numbers because in these areas, like, key players are getting injured. I said Maddison. I said Micky van der Ven as well. It's just so not ideal in a season where, you know, we started really strongly, 10 games, undefeated. Obviously, last two have resulted in defeats due to the madness of that Chelsea game. But I just feel sorry for Ange. I feel so sorry for Ange because he won those 3 Manager of the Months, and it's just the curse seems to have followed him into this part of the season. It's just an international break is a Premier League or, you know, domestic league manager's worst nightmare because you're just sitting there watching these dead rubber games, hoping that your players don't get injured. But even at the time, you know, South Korea were 4-0 up, and could they have subbed them off early? I don't know. The thing is, I don't want to dictate what, you know, the South Korean national team are doing in games, especially with our star player, and you have to expect these injuries. But I think just in the current climate, and I'm speaking for all Tottenham fans here, this is the last thing we need. This is the last thing this club, squad, team, manager, players need. We didn't need our captain as well. That's, you know, all 3 of our captains could be out the next game. Maddison, Romero, and Son. So we got to look for a new talisman as well. So just not ideal. Oh, honestly, you can tell by the tone of my voice, I am very stressed. But let me know, I guess, in the comments down below. What do you reckon of this injury? Do you think it's as bad as it seems? And if it is bad, does this sort of call off our odds of top 4 now? Do we really have to renegotiate our season and hope for the best and hope that we can, you know, finish in the Europa League spaces or the Conference League spaces? I don't know. And also, if Son is injured, who should be starting in our front line? Obviously, Kulusevski's still there. Brennan Johnson. Who should be our striker? Because we're really few and far between. Would you start a Donnelly? Would you start a Valise? Don't know if either of them are ready for first team action. But yeah, that'll be an interesting point. But if you have enjoyed this video, and I say enjoyed because it's bad news, but if you've enjoyed my little, you know, synopsis and discussion about it, let me know in the comments down below as well. Leave a like on the video, subscribe to Sonny Talk Spurs, and hit that notification bell because it lets you know when I've reacted to breaking news, full-time results, and everything under the sun. And I'll see you pretty soon. Ciao.